Good afternoon, everybody. This is Keith with Spreadsheet Sports coming to you again for another edition of the MLB DFS podcast. We got a lot of stuff to go over today. First, I want to recap the last couple nights. It's been absolutely crazy and absurd. We've had scores 2 nights ago into the 90s in some tournaments on FanDuel. I mentioned yesterday that we had scores that were in the mid to upper 200s on DraftKings, those are NFL scores, guys. Those aren't baseball scores. In my opinion, that is the definition of that's the definition of crazy. So, especially when it's been consistent. When you have the Astros score 15 runs, let's see here. The Twins and Rays combined for 18 runs. The Cardinals scored 9 runs. Let's see here. The Angels and Tigers scored 15 runs. Milwaukee and Cleveland scored 17. I mean, it was crazy. So it's that time of year where you've got to ride the waves. I'm riding them right now. It's up and down and around, and it's one of the things that makes MLB DFS so much fun. It's a lot like real baseball. If you got to shorten it up. You got to look at it as, okay, I'm going to tackle today. Tomorrow is another day. Yesterday's over. And if you're struggling right now, don't try to chase. That's one of the biggest things that I can stress right now is bankroll management. If you're on a hot streak, don't try to ride it and don't try to increase your play beyond your normal bankroll management rules. So make sure you follow those bankroll management rules because it's really gonna make sure that it pays off over the long run. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. We're not trying to, although it would be nice, we're not trying to win $1 million tomorrow night. We are trying to gradually build our bankroll and keep building it to where either by the end of football season or college football season, whichever one's your forte, or if both, you can possibly treat your kids, your wife, your significant other to a nice Christmas. So that's always a good way to look at it. Shoot for a goal. What do I want to have? What do I want to make? I've always been a believer that if you have goals to shoot for and a way to get there, you can actually do it. So if you're just playing this for fun, then keep playing it for fun. That's absolutely awesome. But if we can have the added benefit and the added bonus of making you some money, and it really does pay off. So I'm going to throw out a little story here real quick, and then we're going to get back to we're going to get down to the analysis. My wife pretty much was all against DFS. She knew I played season-long fantasy football, but she was all against DFS because of how much time I was putting into it and how much I was getting absorbed into it. And she knew it. I'd had some success and everything, but it was never really a lot. It was a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there until NBA season right after Christmas. And then I came in and basically I had bought a spa weekend for her and her friend. And she goes, well, why do I get this? And I'm like, well, I've won $2,500 in basketball over the last 3 nights. So here you go. You're the one that puts up with it. We don't really see that a lot. She's the one that actually is dealing with me, yelling at the TV, yelling at Troy Tulowitzki, yelling at Brian McCann, Freddie Freeman, Justin Verlander. A lot of the times during NFL, it was me yelling at everybody. And then during basketball, it was always me yelling at Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook or Draymond Green, somebody like that. And those are 3 players that I absolutely love. So it's nice when you can take the money that you have earned. I don't say won because we're not taking crapshoots here. we're playing calculated plays. This is a game of skill. If you're not skillful, then you need to do what you need to do to get better. That's why I'm here to help you. And I love helping everybody. But fantasy sports is a game of skill. Over the long run, the best make the money. Sure, you can get lucky once, you can get lucky twice, but over the long haul, if you're not skilled and you don't have a strict bankroll management rule and a strict routine, then it's very, very hard and difficult to actually profit in this industry. So the game's constantly evolving. Everybody's trying to get better. Everybody's always looking to get better than they were the previous day, and I'm no different. I do a lot of reading every time I can, and my wife puts up with it. So if I can treat her to something every once in a while, whether that be a vacation for a live final, whether that be a new jewelry, a spa weekend, whatever it may be, then that she knows then that I'm not just doing this just for me and my enjoyment. I'm also thinking of her, and that is a good way to. I don't want to saying relieve the pressure from the significant other is a bad way to think about it, but there are times where we get so absorbed in what we do on a day in and day out basis that we forget the people that support us and how much they mean to us. I'm going on a little bit of a rant here because I'll probably have a pretty big announcement coming up next week as far as the NFL and how I'm going to handle that and college football and everything. So it's a good time to reflect towards the end of MLB. I've got a lot of stuff going on here at the house, and I'm absolutely blessed with the opportunity that DFS has actually provided for me. So I love what I do on a day in and day out basis, and it's absolutely a passion of mine. I can remember this time a year ago just getting ready for my season-long draft, and now I can honestly say that I've put more time into DFS than I have put into a lot of things. I haven't put this much time into anything since really probably college. So it's fun and I love it, and the opportunities are endless and the industry is growing. Obviously, we see that. So it's a absolute blessing to be able to share my opinions and thoughts with you guys on a day in and day out basis. To be able to bring to you guys what I believe is a unique outlook on how to approach things. It might not always work, but it is one that I've had success with. So I'm nothing special. I've known sports forever and I apply it. So if I can take it and apply what I know, then I can share it with you guys. And if you can apply what you guys have and add your own little zing to it or twist and input, then that could make you guys better as well. So that's my rant for the day. I'll probably have a couple more in the upcoming weeks and stuff. So I've got, like I said, I'm working on a big announcement for next week. It's going to be focused right around college football and NFL football. So be looking for that. Probably college football starts next Thursday. So probably next Tuesday afternoon, I will have that out and available for you guys. It'll be in the form of a video podcast, and it should be a lot of fun. So it's going to be a big weekend. I got a lot of stuff I've got to prepare, and so it's going to be fun. So, but for tonight, we've got MLB going on, and we're going to have a lot of fun with this tonight. Got same matchups as always, and it's going to be one of those nights again. So don't think that what's going on right now is going to change today. This is kind of how the MLB season has gone. It's gone in swings, where there's high scoring nights for 3 or 4 nights, and then there's low scoring nights for 3 or 4 nights. So the good thing is that we don't also have to worry about the Coors Field effect going along with this. And you know how much I love playing Coors Field. That's tongue in cheek. So position by position breakdown tonight, guys. We've got a lot of good things going on. I've got some sneaky little picks that we could actually throw out there for you guys that might help you kind of separate yourself from the field and pay off at the same time. So if they pay off and you're getting them at a very low ownership percentage, then that's going to help you out and make it to where everything is that much better. So as far as pitchers tonight, man, it is another one of those nights where we've got some great choices. So the great thing is we've got Chris Sale and Chris Archer, Battle of the Chris's going on again. I don't foresee this being too bad of a night for pitching. The last couple nights have been kind of crazy, kind of off the wall. And if you didn't pair up your good pitching with your good hitting, then you would actually not be doing good. So, well, obviously. To give you an idea, last night I paired up Chad Bettis, who I believe, let me look here. Let's see here. Chad Bettis had 13 points last night. 12. And I got him at under 2% owned. And I had what I believe to be the absolute bomb lineup. Like I thought it was going to be the nuts. I thought it was going to go off for 180 points. Not really, but and it absolutely tanked compared to what other people did. So that lineup review, we've got Chad Bettis, Travis Denard. Both of them were really good. I got Paul Goldschmidt under 3% owned. I got Aaron Hill, who I thought was in a good position as well. Josh Donaldson going down in Texas. I decided to pay up for him since I'd saved money at pitcher. Then I had stacked the Mets with Wilmer Flores, Curtis Granderson, and Yoenis Cespedes, and Flores absolutely just completely crapped the bed. He got a -1. Josh Donaldson, I believe he had a walk and then 4 outs, and so he didn't do good. Don't be afraid to go back to that well tonight. We'll go over that here in a little bit. And then Chris Colabello. So obviously I had I say this over and over and over, and I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face, guys. It's a process. Continue that process. Trust that process. The outcome isn't always going to work, but as long as you are confident in what you're doing on a day in and day out basis and putting yourself in the best position to succeed, then more likely than not, it will actually work. So that's the good thing. I would probably play that lineup in the same matchups again and again and again, and it might turn out different results. So top pitchers of the day. Man, we've got some big ones going tonight and today, actually. So let me get through here. Why is my mouse not working? Dang it. Thank you. Top pitcher of the night, obviously, he's got to be Chris Sale. The problem with Chris Sale is he's $12,500 on FanDuel. That's a lot of money. Obviously, lock and load him for your cash games. But as far as GPPs, it might be a good idea to fade him. Unless you're throwing out multiple teams, then obviously you want to have some exposure to him just in case he goes off for 25 points, and he does have that capability. I do believe that he will be a little bit excuse me. I do believe he'll be a little bit lower owned than the next pitcher that we have, and that's just because the next pitcher you're saving probably right around not right around, you're saving about $700. So the next 3 pitchers actually are probably going to be a little bit higher owned than Chris Sale. Their upside isn't quite as much, but they do have the capabilities to go off again. Hold on here and just making a note. Some late minute news just came through. So you've got your big four, and then you've got some other nice GPP options that are available tonight as well. So the next one that I think is going to probably be the highest owned of the night is going to be Chris Archer. He's going up against the Minnesota Twins. He is a where is he? Where is he on my sheet? Oh, he's a minus 190 favorite. That total is at a 7. He's at home. He does very well at home. He does extremely good on the road, but his home road splits are not as bad as people kind of make them out to be. He's got a 2.63 ERA at home. And he's averaging right under 11 Ks per 9 innings. So I believe he's a good option in your cash games. You can pair them up both on DraftKings if you can find the value bats. I'm not sure that you're going to be able to find a lot of those, but it is possible as always. And we know that on any given night, players that are getting the opportunity that are in good matchups could go off. So make sure you do your due diligence, and we'll probably hit some of those value plays that we're going tonight. So next one I've got that might be a little bit sneaky, and it's just because a lot of people are not going to be on him at all. And the reasoning for that is because the Mets have been absolutely, completely hot lately. But is Jared Eichhoff. I've looked at his profile. I've really, really dug deep on him. And he has, besides the left-handed bats, so Curtis Granderson, Daniel Murphy, let's see if that lineup's out here. Let's go up here. Mets. Refresh. Yep, it's out. Let's see here. Okay, so they've got they've only got 3 lefties in the lineup tonight. Curtis Granderson, Daniel Murphy, and Michael Conforto. He's allowing a 547 WOBA to left-handed batters, but he's only allowing a .090 to righties. Now, I know this is only in 6 innings. This is a multiple entry GPP play. So if you're throwing multiple entries into, say, the Rally or the DraftKings $3 tournament or anything like that, he's going to be low owned. And the reasoning is because not a lot of people are going to want to pick on the Mets, who have been absolutely hot over the last week. So he's, like I said, a multiple. And if you're thrown in a single bullet, you can't go there. I would probably strongly go against it. Go with one of the other pitchers that you can get a decent ownership percentage out of and still be able to get some nice points out of. So that is what I kind of think about him. Let's see here. David Price is the next one on the board. Obviously, David Price in Texas is not the ideal matchup, but looking at the Rangers when they face David Price, the Rangers hitters, there's not a lot to like. The only one that really has had, or the only 2 that have really had any success against him have been Elvis Andrus and Josh Hamilton. I guess Adrian Beltre, but all the rest of them kind of have not had that much success against him. And David Price in a hitter's ballpark, we've seen it with some of these guys that have gone into Coors Field, especially lefties, and dominated lefties this year, or dominated the Rockies in Coors Field this year. They're going to be lower owned. They're going to be, and he's got the strikeout potential to go with it. It's going to be hot there. The ball's going to be able to carry. It's 91 degrees. It's got a humidity of 32%. I know I haven't talked a lot about weather this year, but it's when the weather gets warmer, the ball starts carrying in these ballparks. So I think he's a nice little GPP play. I wouldn't go there in cash games just because he does you do have the ability to get blown up in Texas. That offense is no joke. They are very good, and they've got something to play for. So the next one I like is Johnny Cueto. Cueto obviously is he's kind of been up and down since he joined the Royals this year, since that trade went down. He's got games on FanDuel of last time he allowed 13 hits. I don't even know how many runs. Let's see, 7 runs in 6 innings. He basically got a 3. Ever since he kind of came over, he made his first start against Toronto on July 31st. He's only had 2 games where he's exceeded 15 points on FanDuel. So he's kind of struggled since he came over. And it's been one of those things that you've got to pick and choose your spots. I believe in Kansas City this year. Let's see here. He's only had 2 starts in Kansas City, and those were his 2 best starts. So I think at home he's all right to go. They're going to be very, very good this year, or going down the stretch, and I think he's going to be fine. At 11.5, he's a discounted price from all the other 3, and I think he could be a very, very good GPP play as well. And you're probably going to get him at a lower ownership percentage. So one other play I like, as far as the pitching side is concerned, is where did it go? Is Gio Gonzalez. I'll talk about this here in a little bit, but man, the Padres have just not been doing good lately. Let's see here. Versus lefties this year, every single one of them have an average under 290, it looks like. Corey Spangenberg has a 296, but their WOBA is not as good as it should be. This team was designed to match the lefties in the National League West, your Clayton Kershaws, your Madison Bumgarners, and they just have not done it at all. So they're throwing out a righty heavy lineup, but I don't mind Tyson Ross in this matchup either. But I think Bryce Harper gets to him tonight. So I would probably stay away from him, but he might not be a bad GPP play. So there are some options there at pitching tonight. There's a lot of good ones. Just make sure that you do your due diligence. I would only recommend Sale and Archer and cash games, but for GPPs, any of those other, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any of those other 5, I don't mind at all. So some I like better than others. Some are in better matchups than others, but it's just what is going to allow you to fit in the bats that you want to. So let's see here. All right, catchers tonight. Doug Norris, obviously going against the lefty. I do like him. He is he's batting 6th tonight. I wish he was up in that lineup a little bit more, but they're primed and they're absolutely committed to getting Melvin Upton Jr. going. BJ Upton going. That's one of the reasons they traded Will Venables, who I think is a far better outfielder and a far better Major League Baseball player than BJ. But they're committed to getting BJ going, probably because they're paying him a lot, and they know that they're either going to have to cut him and pay him anyways, or they're because nobody else is going to trade him. So they've got to get him going. He's been doing better lately. He has kind of, he was on a nice little tear there for a little while, but it's kind of seasoned back off. So Matt Kemp continues to be one of the hottest hitters in baseball after the All-Star break, the second half of the year. Let's see, since when was the All-Star break? Looks like it was since the 17th when the All-Star break ended. He's had 1, 2, 3. He's only had 3 games going below 0 since the All-Star break on FanDuel. So I don't care who you are. that is pretty nice production from somebody who started the year just absolutely horrible. So I don't mind Matt Kemp either, but I'll get into him a little bit later. I like Victor Martinez. The Tigers, they've got the highest run total of the day, the highest projected run total of the day. They're projected to score just under 5 runs against Hector Santiago, who has not been the same since the All-Star break. I like John Jaso going against Tyler Duffy tonight. I know the Rays are not projected to score a lot of runs, but it's one of those things that is very, very difficult to figure out. The Twins are projected to score 3.7, and the Rays are projected to score 3.83. So I do like John Jaso. He should be hitting at the top of that lineup. Actually, he's not. He's hitting cleanup. So at 2.2K hitting cleanup behind the plate. Absolutely, please lock and load. Just a future reference, I like the Rays as a sneaky stack tonight. So sneaky stack, not snack. So other catchers I like, Russell Martin, obviously in Texas, I believe is going to be a good play. And then Buster Posey, if you can fit him in, then you can pretty much chalk him up. He's been very, very good lately if he's in that lineup tonight. So first base is loaded as usual, obviously. Top play of the day is Albert Pujols going against Justin Verlander. If you look at his numbers against Verlander, they're absolutely completely ridiculous. He's 6 for 12 against him. He's got a OPS of 1.375. His BABIP is 545. His WOBA is 577. So needless to say, Mr. Albert actually likes hitting against Verlander, and it hasn't mattered what type. So I'm completely off Justin Verlander tonight. I think that if you play multiple players from that game, you're not going to be disappointed at all. Obviously, Miggy Cabrera, we know the Tigers. Joey Votto has been one of those little sneaky first baseman against left-handed hitters this year. Versus lefties, he actually has he's hitting 336 with 6 home runs. He's got a 457 WOBA versus left-handed pitching this year and a 375 BABIP. So he always goes extremely under-owned, kind of like Freddie Freeman. But against lefties, I don't mind taking him at all versus lefties. He's one of those lefties that I like all the time. So Freddie Freeman going against Johan Flande. Obviously, Flande, he's man, I like the grit in this kid. I wish he would pass it on to everybody else. He's one of those guys where his results outperforms his talent because of his work ethic. The question is he can pitch great for 4 or 5 innings if he keeps that pitch count low. When he gets to the third time through the order, or he gets to around that 70 pitch mark, his average and ISO allowed absolutely just shoots up and rockets up. So be aware of that. But then you're facing off against that Rockies bullpen, which is absolutely putrid. So I know they pitched 4 good innings last night after Chad Bettis came in, but I will go with how they've been all year round. That bullpen has allowed more walks than anybody else in baseball, and it's not even close. And walks generally typically turn into runs, and this is a really crazy stat for you guys. The Rockies bullpen has allowed more 2-out runs than any other team in baseball. Think about that for a second. 2 outs, all you have to do is get 1 more out. They have allowed more 2-out runs than anybody in baseball, and it's not even close. I don't mind going against that Rockies bullpen, and so Freddie Freeman is definitely in play for me, especially at 3.1K. I can save some money there if I'm going to pair him up with Archer or one of the other bigger pitchers. So Let's see here. Carlos Santana, I don't mind either going against Jimmy Nelson. Carlos Santana's been hitting better since the All-Star break. Let's see. Toronto Blue Jays. Edwin Encarnacion and Justin Smoke, obviously in Texas, going against Colby Lewis, who's been an absolute gas can over the last, let's see. Actually, he's pitched pretty well over the last couple games. He's allowed at least, let's see, he's gone at least 6 innings every start since the All-Star break. Now he does allow some hits, he does allow some runs, but he's at least gone 6 innings. I still think that that streak could end tonight. The Blue Jays offense just keeps coming at you and coming at you and coming at you, and it's absolutely completely nuts. Let's see here. A little sneaky option tonight is going to be David Ortiz against Chris Sale. And the reason is he's 5 for 13 against Sale. He's got a 371 BABIP, a 455 BABIP with 371 WOBA, 847 OPS. So that might not be a bad little option. The only problem is there's not going to be a lot of correlation that you can throw in there with it, because there isn't a lot of history that you can get in there. So I don't think tonight's going to be the night to pick on Chris Sale. I think he's going to be jacked. He's a minus 200 favorite. So obviously he is definitely your top cash game pitcher of the day. So Brandon Belt going against Kyle Hendricks. We all know what happened last time. If you don't remember, he absolutely hit a mammoth home run against Kyle Hendricks in Wrigley last might not have been last week. It was a week and a half ago when the Giants were in Wrigley earlier this year, and it was a moonshot. So I like Brandon Belt there, and the great thing is his price has come down a little bit. He's only 3.4K now. So second base, obviously Daniel Murphy, he's in play. Jason Kipnis, I like the Indians tonight if you can't tell. And then Kiki Hernandez. I wish Donnie Baseball would get a clue and start hitting him towards the top of that lineup, because if he was hitting in the 2-hole, then I think he would be a monster. So all the Dodgers prices have come down tremendously, but going against David Holmberg tonight, I have no problems picking on him. So shortstop, it's kind of limited. I've got pretty much 3 guys at shortstop tonight. I've got Troy Tulowitzki, obviously, in Texas. I've got Elvis Andrews going against David Price. Obviously, I want that to be part of a stack. If I'm stacking the Rangers against Price to capitalize off chaos. And then as Drupal Cabrera thrown in there in my Rays stack. And then Brandon Crawford, if he's in the lineup tonight, are my 4 shortstops. So third base, we're going to kind of start going through here because I've got some outfield analysis that we need to get to. Third base, I like Todd Frazier. Obviously, Todd Frazier tonight is going to be a very, very popular play, in my opinion, going against Brett Anderson in the hitter's ballpark at 2.8K. I know he hasn't been hitting the ball well lately. He has barely hit for power since the All-Star break, but it looks like from what he is beginning to do and how hard he's hitting the ball lately, he's starting to snap out of it a little bit. So he might be starting to snap out of that slump. Nolan Arenado going against Shelby Miller. If you remember, I know it was Coors Field, but if you remember the last time the Rockies faced Shelby Miller, obviously they had Troy Tulowitzki, but the Rockies absolutely killed him. They shelled him around. He did not pitch good. Let's see here. It was because he got pushed back, and then he started on a Sunday afternoon. It was 5 innings, 11 hits. I think it was 7 runs. And he did get 7 Ks, but he allowed a home run and a walk too. So he didn't get the win. So I don't think it's going to be quite that bad tonight. And in fact, it could absolutely just go the opposite way. But I think that Nolan Arenado, who has been crushing right-handed batter or pitchers this year, and especially away from Coors Field, is a good play tonight. Obviously, Josh Donaldson and Adrian Beltre are both in play, and then Chris Bryant as well for the Cubs. So outfielders, I like the San Diego outfield, Kemp and Upton, not BJ. I like Mel or Justin. Yeah, don't mix those up. So Bryce Harper, obviously, Granderson and Cespedes tonight. I like Chris Davis. Calhoun and Trout are in a good position as well. Let's see here. Is Van Slyke in the lineup here? Yep, Scott Van Slyke and Yasiel Puig. If you pair them with let's see here, or possibly Adrian Gonzalez, then that could be a good night for you there with the Dodgers. Michael Brantley is going to be in a lot of my lineups tonight. I like the Indians going against Jimmy Nelson. Not a lot of people pick on Jimmy Nelson, so I do like that option as well. Carlos Gonzalez, if he's in the lineup, let's see, the Rockies just actually released that lineup. He is in the lineup, so Carlos Gonzalez is Nolan Arenado is not in the lineup. So scratch everything I just said about Nolan. Nice. Good job, Walt Weiss. So Cargo is back in the lineup, and DJ LeMahieu is hitting 4th. Oh, my gosh. I don't know what they're doing in Colorado. So let's see here. Jose Bautista, Ben Revere. I like that little wraparound stack. They're expensive, so you're going to need to throw in one of those lower priced at the end of the bottom of the order in order to get some of them in. Maybe if you go Justin Smoke over Edwin Encarnacion, that might help you save some money. Then you can go Tulo, Donaldson, Bautista, Smoke, but you're not going to be able to fit in one of those bigger pitchers if you do that. So it's something to think about, maybe to stack the lower end of that Blue Jays lineup if you're going to go that route. I don't think that would be a bad play at all either. For the Royals, I like Lorenzo Cain and Ben Zobrist. Eric Hosmer's not a bad option, but he doesn't. I like the right-handed bats for the Orioles or for the Royals, just because Wei Chen has allowed a lot of home runs to right-handed batters this year, and he's pretty good against lefties. So Kendrys Morales might be your pivot off of Eric Hosmer, and then Salvador Perez. I don't mind at the catcher position either. So let's see here. David Peralta, Melky Cabrera, Kyle Schwarber, they're all in play tonight as well. Those are my top plays of the night. If you take a lot of those and you kind of mix them up and match them up and throw in some stacks in there as well, then I think you could have a pretty big night. And it could be pretty profitable for you guys. So, guys, that's it for today. Obviously, it is we got a couple hours to roster lock. So I've got lineups to build. You've got lineups to build, and we have money to make. For Spreadsheet Sports, this is Boomersdaddy. Good luck and good night.